Daredevil Born Again's first 2 episodes did a magnificent job of bringing the Marvel Cinematic Universe up to speed on what the Netflix Daredevil series' main characters had been doing in the years since we last saw them. The episodes also had many surprises in store, and while they ultimately made way for an intriguing story in Daredevil's first project as a lead since Charlie Cox returned to the role in 2021's Spider-Man No Way Home, killing Froggy Nelson was certainly a divisive moment that made the ordeal bittersweet. But before we get into episode 3's review, if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button, drop a like and comment on the video, and if you're able, please sign up for channel memberships for exclusive content, which really helps us out. Anyway, back to Hell's Kitchen. So, Born Again continues the high quality of its first 2 episodes. Last week we had the live-action debut of White Tiger. The late Camar de los Reyes made Hector Ayala a soulful character with his desire to help others as a superhero, contrasting with Matt Murdock's decision to leave his days as Daredevil behind. I love that dynamic, and I'm glad we got to see the MCU series fully dive into it with episode 3, which has all the needed elements to make it one of season 1's best episodes. One of my biggest issues with the She-Hulk Attorney at Law series was that the courtroom scenes were not effective in the slightest. That made me worried about Born Again, as Matt Murdock's lawyer side is not only a crucial part of the character, but the courtroom scenes were also some of the best in the Netflix original Daredevil series, and due to that, anything less than fantastic would simply not make sense, but thankfully, I had no reason to worry. After Matt learned Hector was White Tiger and still agreed to represent him, episode 3 shows how that plays out. White Tiger's murder trial makes for an eventful storyline full of plot twists as Matt tries to defend his client while the prosecution aggressively counters him. The Nikki Torres of it all is the most important part of the trial. Born Again episode 2's ending had Matt save Nikki and tell him to go to Cherry, his PI, to be stashed away. Despite being targeted by cops, Nikki makes his way into the courtroom. However, the corrupt officers scare him so much that the thought of what they might do to him makes Nikki so nervous that he lies to benefit the cops. At that moment, I was at a loss for words. It seemed like everything was over as there was nothing else Matt could do. However, there was one more card to play, and I loved to see Matt take the reins of the situation, revealing Hector was White Tiger and using that to support his case. The debate about morality using a superhero setting is the episode's strongest element. Matt's storyline in Daredevil Born Again sees him shy away from being a superhero due to Foggy's death. He has been thriving financially and even found new love in friends after that decision. That's why he can't fathom the thought of why Hector Ayala wants to continue being White Tiger even after he's cleared of the charges and the whole world knows who he is. The philosophical debate about having the power to save lives but choosing not to is a strong one in this episode, and White Tiger will certainly impact Matt's Daredevil journey. There's simply no way to talk about Born Again episode 3 without going into the tragedy of its ending. The hour deals a great blow to Matt's resolve in his idea that he can get justice through the legal system, allegedly not needing to be Daredevil anymore. After Matt wins the trial and Hector is freed, he decides straight away to go back to patrolling the streets as White Tiger. However, an unknown person dons the Punisher symbol and shoots him in cold blood, killing Hector. Since Born Again had already revealed corrupt cops had tattoos of a modified Punisher skull, it seems obvious the people Matt just beat in court sidestepped the law to get what they wanted. All the work Matt put in to defend Hector was in vain. White Tiger died all the same. Was it worth it? That is the question Matt will be left with upon learning of the death, impacting his thinking as the season progresses. The credits play the sounds of Hector's favorite place in the world, a Puerto Rican beach, completing the haunting portrayal. So overall, the pros: a thrilling courtroom battle as effective as superhero fights, White Tiger brings needed debates and growth to Matt Murdock in the MCU series, and a tragic and shocking ending ramps up the season. And the cons? Nope. I can't think of any.